Sue Orsman sold them in the 70s and 80s as the end all and be all for avoiding probate. As I said, we can avoid probate now without having to do a trust. The only advantage to a trust, truly advantage to the trust, is the multi-generational control. And then if you've got a real complicated estate, yeah. Or if you have a blended estate where you got remarried, your spouse has kids and wealth, and you have kids and wealth, and you want to enable for the two of you to be able to have access to the wealth as long as you're living, but when the second one of you dies, you want it to be divided back out according to how it was put in to the children of that parent. So, if wife puts in $1 million, husband puts in $2 million, when they both die, there's $1.5 million left. The husband's kids are going to get 2/3 of it, and the wife's kids are going to get 1/3. So, but minus whatever was used by either spouse during their lifetime. But the problem is that typically the ways trusts are written, they become irrevocable and unchangeable after the first spouse dies. And it's done that way to protect the offspring of the deceased spouse from the surviving spouse getting remarried and giving all the money to another spouse. That's a noble effort, but during their lifetime, they can transfer it all to them anyway. I mean, it doesn't really stop that. I've had people do that. But you also have a situation where I had a situation, for instance, where a gentleman his wife died. His son moved into the house to take care of him. His son was a major beneficiary of the estate. He started abusing the dad and being mean to him. And his wife accused her of trying to have sex with her and all of this stuff. I mean, just horrible stuff was going on in his house. I mean, this is a very gentle, kind man. He did not do that. He loved his wife devotedly for many years. And so he made the son leave, and his daughter moved in and started taking care of him. Well, he wanted to change the will or the trust so that she could inherit the money. He can't do it. The son's going to get the share of the money because he'd exploited money while he was there. He was taking money from him. So he'd already taken his, and he wanted to protect his daughter. He can't do it. It can't be done. So, and that's the situations I run into with trust, and people don't understand them. They think they work the way a will does. Oh, I want to amend this. Well, you can't, and it's cumbersome. It's difficult. And like I said, you understand it when you're sitting in my office and I'm going over it with you. But when you're at home and you have something come up and you try to read that on your own, you're not going to understand it for the most part. I mean, 75% of the people I do them for wouldn't understand it without coming
So,
back and asking.
so I may ask Teresa, so if that's true, then they'll need more legal assistance to help interpret and properly execute it.
Right. And when the kids inherit it, when the second parent dies, then the kids have all these issues and don't understand it and don't know what to do. And it just creates this generational problem and generations of legal fees. So attorneys like them. I
Right.
don't. I'll forfeit all those fees. Thank you. I want my clients to be comfortable with what they're doing. And as I said, now there's so many ways that we can pass on death the house. We can transfer on death bank accounts, and investment accounts are beneficiary designated. So it all passes by virtue of law. You don't need a trust to do it anymore. It also means that you don't have to do probate when you do that if you set that all up the right way. And then you also can't have recovery from Medicaid because Medicaid can only come against a probate estate. If you don't have a probate estate, they can't come after it. But you don't need a trust to do that.